Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the open meeting for September the 14th, 2023, 6 o'clock p.m. The meeting is now called to order. At this time, Dave Musgrave, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Noah,
Here.
Councilman Palmer,
He excused, he's still sick.
Councilman Ashby,
Here.
Councilwoman Robinette,
She is excused also.
Mayor Jones,
Here.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Here.
and Councilwoman Nelson.
We waiting on her to get in, so.
Yeah, she said she was trying to gain access.
There's nobody in the waiting room right now, keeping an eye on it, but you do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum, but maybe she's on another link.
I sent her a new link. I sent
Okay.
I sent it via text and email.
Okay, a quorum is present. At this time, we'll move to the second item on our agenda, and that's request for the annual liquor license for renewal for R&R Liquor. Acting City Manager, could you please explain?
Yes, Mayor Council. R&R Liquor has requested their liquor license. We had a reinspection of the place, and 603 Airport Road has passed inspection. So we do agree with the liquor license.
Okay, great. I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval.
So motion, Blake Ashby.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Is there a second to the motion? The motion for R&R to receive liquor license died on the floor. We move on. We have another request for liquor license approval from the new HD Event Center LLC at 119 South Florissant Road. City Manager, could you please explain?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, this is going to be the new event space it's taken over to Savoy. And they still have a little bit of work to do, but they are at the portion of where we can issue the liquor license.
Okay. Is there a motion and a second to approve the liquor license for HG Events LLC?
So
Mayor,
go ahead, Linda.
I'm sorry, Mayor, may I make a request for just a moment? Phaedra is trying to get in and she doesn't have enough numbers. Could we get her in for this vote, please? And would we even want to do the other one?
We sent her the
She's having
I think John just resent it.
I just resent it again.
Oh, Lord, okay.
Did you just see that, Mayor?
She says she's in the car, send the passcode. He just resent the passcode, and I sent her the passcode and the meeting ID.
Okay.
We can always go back to the request for the R&R, but we're gonna keep moving forward. John, you sent us 670850. Okay, correct.
I'm sorry, Mayor, what was that? One more time, please.
The passcode is correct. I left the
6
6 off. Okay.
Yep. Yes, that's correct.
We do have a quorum. We're gonna keep moving.
Okay.
We can always go back to R&R. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. It was a motion, I requested a motion in a second for the HG Events LLC to receive liquor license. So moved.
There's Fade.
No.
No, that's fine. I was just saying Fader's on.
Is-
Second, Blake Ashby.
Okay, it has been properly moved in second that HG Events LLC will receive their liquor license. Are you ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. HG Events LLC will receive their liquor license. We'll move to the resolutions. We have resolution number 2023-38.
Mrs. Nelson's in now, if you want to go
Yeah.
to the.
No,
R&R.
I'll pick it up after we can finish, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Resolution number 2023-38, a resolution selecting a vendor for the purchase without objections were introduced by council members present. Hear none. Acting city manager, could you, no, Dave, could you please read the resolution?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 2023-38, a resolution selecting a vendor for the purchase of a new playground equipment, removal of the existing equipment, and installation of the new playground at Dade Park, awarding the contract to said vendor and authorizing the city manager to execute the contract on behalf of the city.
Acting city manager, do you have an explanation?
Yes, Mayor. At this time, I'll call on Dave Musgrave, Parks Director.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. This was an item we put in the capital budget for this current year. I was able to secure a grant through Game Time to pay for half of the actual equipment allocation, so it's coming in under budget. If you recall, in our park master plan, this was one of the playgrounds that they called out that needed replacing. It was actually put in the early 90s, if memory serves. The other thing that was called out in the master plan was to move the location further away from Dade Avenue. So we were looking at putting this in the center of the park, actually close to, well, on top of where the old tennis courts were located that haven't been used in years. So it'll be between the parking lots on the back side of Dade and the existing basketball courts. The hope is down the road, depending how much money we save on this, we might bring a pavilion renovation to you later this year as well.
Great, great. I'm asking for a motion and a second for approval.
So moved, Linda Lipka.
Second, Laquita Noah.
Acting Deputy Clerk Dave Musgrave, could you please call the roll?
So many titles.
No,
Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
aye.
and Councilwoman Noah.
Aye.
Motion
Councilwoman
carried.
Nelson, she dropped off.
Wait.
She dropped
What about,
off.
Yeah, Councilwoman Nelson dropped off, so
okay.
Motion carries. Resolution number 2023-39, without objections, were introduced by council members present. Hear none. Acting Deputy Clerk Dave Musgrave, could you please read the resolution?
thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 2023-39, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the necessary documents to enter into an agreement with Verizon Wireless for cellular service.
Acting City Manager Hampton, could you please explain?
Yes, Mayor and Council. We went out for our RFP to look at new phone service. This Verizon has won this contract, and that's who we'd be switching to. We were having issues a lot with drop calls, and that's one of the reasons we went after RFP. And we needed more phones for the police department and also here at City Hall, since we are starting to get more and more employees back to the city. This will be a better contract than we currently have.
Great.
Who are we currently with?
Oh, I'm sorry, T-Mobile. I'm sorry. Good hearing like a feedback.
Okay.
and we're going to Verizon.
Okay. I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval.
So moved, Linda Lipka.
Second, Laquita Noah.
Dave Musgrave, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Nelson. Councilwoman Nelson?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We are voting on resolution number 2023-39. What is your vote?
Oh, aye.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-39 passes. We move to resolution number 2023-40. Without objections, we introduce with council members present. Acting Deputy Clerk David Musgrave, could you please read the resolution?
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 2023-40, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the necessary documents to enter into an agreement with Spectrum Enterprise for internet service.
Acting City Manager Hampton, could you please explain?
Yes, Mayor Council. Currently, with our current contract, we cannot increase any of our speed. Right now, basically, we are using home speed, less than probably what you have at home to run the city. This will bring us to the, yes, ma'am. This will bring us to where we need to be, and then for the future, for us to expand on if we need more.
Okay, great. I'm requesting a motion and a second for approval.
So moved, Laquita Noah.
Second, Blake Ashby.
Deputy Clerk, Acting Deputy Clerk Dave Musgrave, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilwoman Nelson,
Aye.
Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilman Ashby,
Aye.
and Mayor Jones.
Aye. Resolution number 2023-40 passes. We go back to the request for the liquor license. We have an annual liquor license request renewal for R&R Liquor Store.
Mayor, maybe I can explain a little bit more. Maybe that will help a little bit if you like.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the reasons that it did fail this year was because we were including two properties. We were including the one on Harvey and the one on Airport Road. Well, the one on Harvey is not part of the liquor store. That's where a little bit of confusion came into play. 603 Airport is up to code. They've complied with all necessary code compliance to be allowed to get their liquor license. And hopefully that clears it up a little bit more.
Mayor, may I ask a question?
Yes, Councilwoman Lipka.
So when you say 603 Airport, you're talking about the physical location of R&R Liquor Store, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before you became interim, we did have issues as a council in a city with that location due to the number of calls to the police for their property. And they had their license suspended due to some of that. I think that was under Eric when he was the city manager. So my question is, I understand they passed inspection, but do we know anything about any improvements or lack of improvements on their amount of calls to the
Yes.
police? Or
I can answer some of that because I can tell you right now, we have not run many EMS calls there in quite a while, if that helps. So I know there is improvements in that area. That's something that we can monitor. And then also with that other property on Harvey, that is part of the contingent for next year, is that both properties will be included on the inspection. So both properties will have to pass going forward. And that is written out in the liquor license itself.
Is there any possibility of making a notation to give us an update on that particular piece of information, like in 6 months? Because if it becomes a problem again, I would like personally to see the city and the council be able to nip it in the bud before it becomes a large problem.
Yeah, I think with our new chief, we're a lot more on top of things. Before where we were having more of our code out there, you know, trying to see what the issue was. I think now that we have more of that police presence, I think some of that has been cut back as well. I will definitely talk with Chief Doyle, and I think the city has to stay on top of that. And if we see that we are having issues, we can always revoke the license, I believe.
Okay.
Councilwoman Nelson.
Mayor Jones.
Okay, her light was lit up. Okay, Councilwoman Noah.
What's the address to Harvey
I believe it's 103.
103?
It was Taste of Soul or Soul something. It was that restaurant.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, I know there's some work in the back that they have to do as well, but that's still not part of 603. But yes, he owns all the property, but like I said, moving forward for next year's license, that will all be included in this process.
any other questions? Councilwoman Nelson?
No, I don't have questions.
Okay. I am requesting a motion and a second for approval.
Blake Ashby, so motion.
Second,
I'm going out on faith. I'm going to second. Trusting our city manager and our new police chief. Second, Naquita Noah.
okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yay.
We have one opposed. Okay. The ayes have it. Annual liquor license for R&R liquor store passes. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out tonight on Zoom. We had a lot going on this week, and we just appreciate you all making that effort to get this business done for the city. At this time, I'm requesting.
Mayor, can I ask one question? I thought we had something on the agenda. Was it maybe not time sensitive, but it was regarding the cancer fund for the firefighters? Is that going on a different agenda?
Yeah, we can run it next. It wasn't on this agenda. We can run it next next council meeting. It's
Okay,
the
I just
second
didn't-
meeting.
I
It
just
won't be that
wanted-
time sensitive. We'll make it happen.
Okay, I just didn't want to, skip it.
Okay. I'm requesting a motion and a second to adjourn.
So
Adrian,
moved.
so moved.
Second, Naquita Noah.
Mayor?
All in favor? Before we adjourn, yes, acting city manager.
Yes, ma'am. Can I give a real quick update to Versailles so everybody that is
Oh.
listening to this can hear the truth from us?
Okay, what we need to do is go back and amend the agenda so you to give the report for Versailles so it could actually get in the minutes.
Okay.
And it's not an afterthought. So,
Mayor, I make a motion to amend the agenda so that we may hear a manager's report.
is there a second?
Second, Blake Ashby.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda has been amended. So, manager, could you please make your report?
Yes, Mayor, this will be brief. This is on Versailles Apartments. As everyone knows, we still had that 60-day carryover to our next visit with the receivership, Tragold. Evernest is still the property management firm that's actually in the St. Louis area, and that city will be working with them and Trigold together. There is 24 hours, 7 days a week, armed security that are off-duty police officers, but not from Ferguson. I have to make that clear. They're not Ferguson police officers. Also, we assisted TriGold, Evernest, and Guardia World this past week. Now, no one was evicted. All it was an informational gathering. And what they did, they went to all vacant or supposedly a vacant units. And if no one answered, they had 2 locksmiths on duty or that were at the presence. They drilled out the locks, and then Guardia went in and checked the place out. They took their notes and gave it to the Evernest, and then the locksmith put a new lock on that door. And out of that, I think there's just maybe a handful out of 60 something units that maybe little extra people were in. Now, that's all Ferguson did. We were there just that one day. It wasn't even an 8-hour day why they did this. They have since, my understanding, have gone to the residents that have had a lease or have a lease or at one point had a lease that were paying. And they were getting the information, seeing if they were still in that apartment and if they were planning to move and or were they in the presence of moving. I do not know that outcome. We will get that outcome from them at our next meeting. But I just wanted to give you an update that, no one was evicted and it was just informational gathering. We have now since pulled our Republic dumpster back because Meridian is paid up through the receivership. All utilities are on. There was no interruptions. The receivership was very upfront, said they were going to pay for it, and they did. So they are keeping up their word. They are working on getting things compliant to code, but they have a long way to go. And that's kind of a short of it, but it's the truth, and that's the facts that what we have done and where we're at. And I think that's important that we, as a city, keep giving those facts out because there's so many rumors and so many things going on along there right now that I think we need to do more of a regular update just for Versailles itself until we get to that second 60-day portion of this.
Let me ask you a question, City Manager. Is there any reason why you cannot do a brief written update about Versailles and put it on the website?
We can.
Oh, we can always refer, give it to Octavia and have people go out there. And I think that would cut some of the questions and the speculations if we do, you do just a brief report and give it to Octavia, let her post it on the website.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that'll work.
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am. I'll make that happen tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Acting City Manager.
And
Any
I'd
other
also like
questions?
and thank everybody for taking their time today. This is very important to staff for these things to get done. They were very time sensitive, and we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all of the council members who are here and the ones who are unable to make it. I know that if they were able to make it, they will be here, but we do have a quorum. So at this time, I'm going to request a motion and a second to adjourn.
Phaedra Nelson, so moved.
Lake Ashby, second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned. Linda, we finished with the meeting. Dave, you can cut it off. Okay, we finish at 6:20.